All right, let's talk about one of the most fascinating and, honestly, one of the most dangerous things in finance, the financial bubble. And to make sense of it all, we're going to use a really simple story about some clever and very, very hungry raccoons. But first, let me ask you a question. Just think about this for a second. What if a single apple was somehow worth more than the entire tree it grew on? It sounds completely absurd, right? Well, that kind of crazy logic is exactly what takes over during a financial bubble. So, forget about complicated stock charts and economic jargon for now. To really get what's going on, we're just going to follow a simple story. It's all about raccoons, leaves, and a whole lot of apples. Okay, so let's start our story where everything is simple, logical, and makes perfect sense. In the beginning, things are exactly as they should be. A raccoon is hungry, so it buys an apple. The apple costs one leaf. The raccoon eats the apple. Its value is realized right then and there. The price actually reflects what the thing is for. It's simple, direct, sensible. Life is good. But then something changes. The whole point of the apples starts to shift. It's not about eating anymore. No, this is where the mania begins. All of a sudden, the price of an apple just starts taking off. And it's not because they taste any better, it's because a new idea is spreading. If you think an apple will cost more tomorrow, then you better buy more today. And look at this, the price doubles, then it's 5 leaves, then 10, and pretty soon it's 20 leaves for just one apple. Raccoons aren't buying apples to eat anymore. They're buying them to sell to other raccoons for more leaves. So what in the world is driving this? Well, the first big reason is something you've probably felt yourself: FOMO, fear of missing out. Every raccoon is looking at their neighbor getting rich off apples and thinking, whoa, I have got to get in on this or I'm going to be left in the dust. That fear, it's an incredibly powerful reason to buy, no matter how high the price gets. And FOMO leads directly to the next thing: herd behavior. You know, when it seems like everyone around you is doing the same thing, it just feels like the safe, smart thing to do. It creates this powerful feedback loop. Raccoons buy, so the price goes up, which then convinces more raccoons to buy, which pushes the price up even higher. It's raccoon see, raccoon do on a massive scale. Now, if you really want to pour gasoline on the speculative fire and turn it into an absolute inferno, you add one very special ingredient: borrowed money. Let's talk about the danger of leverage. So, picture this. A raccoon wants to buy 100 leaves worth of apples, but he only has 10 leaves himself. No problem. The Raccoon Bank is more than happy to lend him the other 90. Our raccoon is now leveraged. He's controlling a huge stack of apples with very little of his own skin in the game. And this right here, this is the truly terrifying part about leverage. Look at the upside. If the price of apples goes up just 10%, our raccoon doubles his money. He's a genius. But, and this is a huge but, look at the other side. If the price goes down by just 10%, he's completely wiped out. All 10 of his leaves are gone. Poof. And the worst part, he still owes the bank 90 leaves. A tiny little wiggle in the market can cause total disaster. As you can probably guess, a party like this can't go on forever. Every single bubble has a breaking point, and that point is usually followed by a very sharp, very painful snapback to reality. At the absolute peak of the madness, a single apple, yep, the same one that used to cost 1 leaf, is now selling for 100 leaves. 100! The price is completely, totally disconnected from what an apple actually is. It's not food anymore, it's just a ticket in some crazy lottery. And then a simple, almost dangerous thought pops into one raccoon's head. He looks at his pile of incredibly expensive and, let's not forget, perishable assets, and he asks a really basic question. What is an apple really for? And that's it. That's the moment the spell breaks. One raccoon suddenly realizes, wait a minute, these things just grow on trees. This isn't some magic leaf-making machine. An apple is just an apple. Panic spreads like wildfire. The same raccoons who were desperate to buy are now 1,000 times more desperate to sell. The price just nosedives, from 100 leaves down to 50, then to 10, until it finally crashes way below its original value, ending up at just half a leaf. The bubble has popped. So, how can we actually learn from our furry friend's big mistake? Well, this whole story gives us a pretty good guide for how to spot the next bubble before it gets out of hand. See, in the real world, bubbles can be a little more complex. We're told to watch out for the smart raccoon. That hot new thing that looks like a genius, but might just be getting propped up by outside forces. It might look rich only because some big Apple company is secretly feeding it leaves to make it look successful. Appearances can be really deceiving. Okay, so here are the three big signs of a bubble to really watch out for. Number one, your neighbors are suddenly getting rich with what seems like very little effort. Think about your dentist giving you stock tips in the late 90s. Number two, tons of people are borrowing a lot of money to buy the exact same thing, like we saw with mortgages before 2008. And number three, you start to hear the most dangerous phrase in investing. This time it's different, which is just another way of saying apples can only go up. The biggest lesson from our raccoon friends is to just remember the fundamental value of a thing. Bubbles happen when we completely forget what something is for and we focus only on what we can sell it for. So the next time you see a frenzy building up, just ask yourself, is this apple for trading or is it for eating? Understanding that difference, well, it might just save you from the next big bubble.